back here we did have overflow. So they wanted to move to the new generation. So this is basically what I'm doing. What I've done, pipe the cord, and I don't know how you do it, but I pipe the cord back up into the attic, and got it ran back there. I can step up here.
Alrighty, folks, so I did some video to show what we have, and I kept messing with him so I can get the name right. Marmora Baptist Church out here in Church Road, Virginia, Dinwiddie. Now, this is going to be a little bit different than what we do. Actually, and I've always talked about this, I do the design so that y'all can do the work, and that's actually what they want to do. So this video is going to be a training video for them to show at the church meeting, and they're going to do all the work. I'm just going to do the design. They're going to go ahead and do everything, and they'll call me if they need anything, but building the computer, putting the stuff in place, running the cables, thank you, Lord, I don't have to do that. They're going to do all that. So let me take you through showing everything that's proposed here, and he's actually recording as well too. So I'm doing this for me, he's doing this for them as well too. So let me take you in here and let's see what we can help with the design. Alrighty, so starting in here in the sanctuary. Now this is you've seen me talk about this before. And I understand, I've been in church my whole life and this is just the way it is. My initial impression is to get rid of the chandeliers and put LEDs, ceiling lights in. But if you don't want to do that, take out 5 to 6 rungs out of the chandeliers to pull them up so it doesn't block the camera. So right now, they have a camera hooked up right here. And ultimately, what they're planning on doing is they were going to take out 1 bench. I suggested taking out 2. Make the media booth back here bigger so you have more space, comfortable for at least 3 to 4 people to easily sit and move around. That will be done here. The audio is going to be relocated here. This camera is fine, but what's going to happen is run an Ethernet cable and a fiber optic HDMI cable, either through the wall, through a conduit, whichever way, that will feed over into here. Now, I'm going to step outside for half a second because, again, just like they were a bunch of other churches, they don't have internet out here. So they were already looking at doing this. You see we got perfect skyline up here. Trees are on the side, it's not a blocking. So the idea is to get a Starlink satellite. The new Gen 3 does not articulate, so it can be right up there on the edge. We don't have to go up on the roof. It can be like mounted on the wall with an extension arm like the old satellite one, so it has clear line of sight. Run that cable down here, and right where this window is where the media booth would be. Run a conduit PVC pipe down there, punch a hole through there, run the Ethernet cable in, and now everything has internet. That is one thing that will be done that is very straightforward to do, similar to what like I did at my mom's when we installed Starlink, and I have about maybe 4 churches now that are looking at Starlink because that's the only option that they really have. Alrighty. Now with the booth being here, the audio is back there. That's going to be relocated here. So the wires for the speakers would need to be relocated, all that fun stuff. That's fine. The existing HDMI that is feeding to the fellowship hall, that will be repurposed and put over here to send the feed to the fellowship hall. It's already been done, might as well use it. Now, they want to have TVs. They were looking at originally they were saying 250s, and I'm like, no, you got to go way bigger than that. So maybe 275s that are in line, hanging from the ceiling, about in line where the flags are coming from the ceiling. A little questionable on how loud the speakers are because it might vibrate the televisions, but that is an option. The other proposed option, like y'all have seen, most churches have a mirror and it's tilted down so you can see inside the baptismal pool. The idea is first put a camera on that side for a front-facing camera that can also turn and see inside the baptismal pool. Get rid of the mirror, get rid of the banister, and maybe put an 85-inch screen that will go almost up to the ceiling. So now when you're sitting in the congregation, you're not turning to the side to see. Everybody's looking straight forward and you're already seeing the television. So 2 options, 275s hanging from the ceiling or 185 right there. Now the problem with that, if you're here on the pulpit or in the choir, you're gonna have to turn your head to see that. So we're looking at maybe putting a 75 back there on this side, the opposite of where the media booth is, and then everybody can see. Probably see about shortening the fan so that the pull strings are not in the way of the camera, but that's fine. Also, the lighting would need to be adjusted. The camera will compensate for the lighting, that's what I meant to say. Especially if the chandeliers are taken up or removed completely, you'll have more than enough light but won't have a problem. Now, like I said, this is where their sound system is right now. The idea, all of this is gonna move to the back, and thankfully, almost everything is wired except for the podium mic with the gooseneck. That can easily be ran back and extended back there if need be. Not right now, not looking at changing the board, but the fact that nothing is connected that's not close. They already have a snake that's not really being used right now since everything is wireless, but that's fine. They can put that in place. But at the same time, if you relocate the snake, run some shielded Cat 5e cables or shielded Cat 6 for any type of digital board in the future. So if you had to have a snake back here, you already got a cable doing that. Not a big deal. I'm trying to think. And just future stuff right now, the musicians and the instruments are not in the system. So that snake could also be purposed to have like a direct box for the keyboard to go into the house. So a clearer signal directly to the board, directly to the live stream that will pull from the board. And that reminds me, we're looking at an ATEM Mini Extreme. And on this board, we could use the tape out like it is right now to get a feed. Or there is there's another main out right there, the 1/4 inches. So dual 1/4 inch to 3.5 will work for audio. Looks like all the sends are being used for the aux out, so that would give a separate out, but can't use that right now. Not a big deal, but with the cables in place, it could easily be changed. So the tape out will give the exact same thing, or we can just use the main out that will go into the ATEM to feed audio. Obviously, the cameras will go into the ATEM. The computer will go into the ATEM, custom computer for presentation software, for scripture and lyrics and everything like that. HDMI splitter that will feed the connection that's going to the TVs in here, as well as the one that goes to the fellowship hall. And I think that is it here. The main choice is, do you want to go with an 85 on the back wall or 275s? The other option, which I completely forgot about, is if you don't want to do an 85 here, and if you don't want to hang the TVs from there, you could put 275s all the way back in the corner so you wouldn't interfere with anybody standing up, and it would give the same thing if you want to. So you got 3 options when it comes to that, but definitely still one TV in the back, and the chandeliers pretty much got to move up to make it have a clear shot to be able to see what's on the TVs back there. So I think that's all in here. And then when it comes to the fellowship hall, it's already done because they already ran the HDMI cable here. When we have the ATEM and the audio connected, that is going to utilize the cable that's already here. That will now send video and audio back here. So nothing really has to be touched. But for future, say the pastor wants to have a TV in his office, we would just split that signal with another HDMI splitter, leave it back here. So now if any new TVs need to be ran in any offices back here, they would run from here to wherever it goes, or if maybe a future TV is here, something like that. So that's about it. So let's get in front of the computer. Let's write the design up. Let's put the list and everything like that. And thankfully, like I said, they're going to do this. So I don't have to be climbing up anywhere. I'm just going to do the design. They're going to go for that. Of course, I'm going to be available if they need any help. But let's go ahead and design this so I can get that to them so they'll have this diagram and the list of everything to go along with everything. So let's cut over to the computer. Alrighty, folks, we are back. Let's go ahead and get over here and let's design this layout for Marmora. I don't know why I keep having so much difficulty trying to pronounce the name of that church. All right. All right. So, I mean, really straightforward. So let's just start in reverse. They already have their mixer. Excuse me. And there's a Mackie mixer. Not talking about changing that anytime soon. I am still going to leverage their existing snake because they already have it. That would just make it easier for everything there. They already have a camera, so I'm just putting everything in place that they already have. Shrink that just a little bit. And again, their whole goal is that they want to move everything to the back there. And let's do a television. This is the Fellowship Hall TV. This is where the camera is directly connected. This camera is directly connected through an HDMI cable that is ran in the ceiling. And this is connected here. And this is kind of what they got right now. They don't have any internet or nothing like that. So we're going to start with that because that's the first thing they're going to go with. So we're going to install a Starlink. Well, they're going to install a Starlink dish. Because again, this is something that they want to do themselves. And I might get a call if they need help. But again, contrary to popular belief, I think this is something that I do these videos to show that you can do this yourself. I started myself, and this is where you go. So, and this is really meant for them to utilize this and pretty much help them with a guide of everything else that's needed so that they would know exactly what's going to be done, and they're going to present this and go forward. So this is the router that's coming with Starlink. Now we're going to start adding the stuff that is recommended. So I am recommending a PoE switch. Get a small one here. So that's going to be our PoE switch. This is going to give us multiple connections from the router. We're going to start, and of course, we have to have an ambulance drive by here. I'll put this over here because this is simulating the booth. This is going to be an ATEM Mini Extreme. We're also going to get a joystick. So that I'm not trying to increase the size of the joystick. So what we're going to do is run a connection to the existing PTZ and to the joystick, so that now these can be powered on and off by the PoE switch that will live inside of the media booth. And let me make sure I'm still talking in front of this. That would give that power. Let's actually just move it over here. That PoE switch will also go into the ATEM to give that internet. They are going to build their own computer, or I possibly might be recruited for that. Trying to think where would be the closest. Yeah, I'll do it right here. So we got the presentation computer. They were talking about using OBS. They said they were going to get one of my bundles, but again, with the ATEM, they don't necessarily have to do that. But again, I appreciate that. So that will be connected here for presentation software with HDMI cable. We're going to get rid of this connection. We're still going to use it, but we're going to run a connection from the PTZ directly to the ATEM. They're going to put another camera in the front that will give a front shot, but it will also allow them to remove the need for the mirror for the baptismal. So that will connect back here. We'll also run an Ethernet connection to that front PTZ that will give it power and connection to the joystick and all that other fun stuff. We'll run the audio connection from the mixer that is now going to be in the booth. So a simple RCA to 3.5 millimeter cable would do that. We're going to need let's do a monitor. Car that got hit or something, because it just sounds like the horn is just going off. So my apologies. It's always something around here. Like I said, I get recruited quite a few times. If there's an accident, I have no idea why a horn is just going off, so whatever. So we'll have this is our multi-view. So that is going to be that connection. We'll suggest an SSD for recording. And that is annoying. Another USB cable to connect to the computer just for controlling the ATEM as needed. I'll do this one from the cable. This cable. Alright, that's USB. Alright, and the existing cable that was already going to the back, we're still going to leverage that, but we're going to put a 1x8 HDMI, 1x8 HDMI splitter. So the first HDMI out is going to go to that. We will reconnect that to the cable that's already going to the back, and we don't have to do nothing with there because that's still going to be fine. So that's good. Now, the other thing that they're proposing, or I'm proposing to them, is this. And I'm going to do all of the options here. I'm trying to do this in a way that it's easier. I'll just put it this way to make it easier. So we have the back TV for the sanctuary. Then we have an optional left TV, and then right TV, and those will come from, thank you, the alarm stopped finally, that will go from the HDMI splitter that will feed these TVs. That's how they'll get the signal here. So that will show in the front and to the back. Now, both of these, all three of these are actually 75s. That's what I was recommending. Or they can just do one big 85-inch TV, and that would replace both of these. And the connection would still be the same, HDMI. We'll definitely use a fiber optic HDMI connection for this. And mainly, that's it. Not really a lot to this. But again, I think it is a worthwhile adventure to try this and to do the work yourself. That way, every time you touch everything, you get a better understanding of how this all works. Really straightforward. Now, we're not talking about adding Wi-Fi to different parts of the building. You could always add some unified access points to that if you really wanted to. You don't necessarily need a controller for that. You can have them be one-offs and just duplicate whatever the Wi-Fi is from the Starlink router. But that is a viable option for them. I'm gonna write this up as an estimate just to give them a list to help them with a budget, because they say they've never had a budget for the media because media really wasn't anything. Learned a lot from COVID, and this is what they're doing. They said they learned a lot from all my videos, which is very humbling. It just really makes me feel good to know that the stuff that I've been doing over years, when I first was doing these videos, really nobody was watching, but seeing that has really helped out a whole lot. That really means a lot. So I really appreciate them reaching out, and just another way of being able to help them with this stuff. Like I said, I'll be on standby if they ever needed any help with this stuff, but looking forward to seeing what the end result is of them putting in the work and putting everything together. It's a sense of accomplishment when you're able to put this stuff together, just like a bunch of y'all have done when you learn from my videos and other people's videos how to get stuff done. It really makes you feel good to know that what you're capable of. So link is down below to everything I'm going to suggest to them. And if we ever get a contract, or even if they invite me to let me see what they've done afterwards, I'd really like to do that, just to see what they can do. Because again, I've always talked about why I do these videos. Hopefully to encourage y'all to what you can do. And if they do everything themselves, then it will really be able to see what they can do. And hopefully that will encourage anybody else to try that. Like, again, I'm not stopping y'all from contacting me, but again, I'm just one person. So I think it's really empowering to see what other people can do. So like I said, link is down below. So if you like this type of content, appreciate a like, consider subscribing, hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. Thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ. Catch you on the next video. Later.